Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's Lego storage video, we're going to be talking about temporary storage. Now, I've been making a big push around our Lego room here to sort and organize the loose Lego bricks that we have in our collection so that they're easy to access and find as we're working through a number of projects. Now, as part of that process, I find it useful to have storage containers or storage methods for temporarily storing identical bricks together or similar bricks together as I'm going through the sorting process. And then from there, I can later transfer it to our Acro Mills containers, Ziploc bags, or one of the other storage methods that we have here in the Lego room. So I've got a couple different methods that I want to go over today. So let's dive in and take a look at these couple of products. So as a point of comparison, one of the methods I use for temporarily storing and organizing Lego bricks is empty Acro Mills containers. These are pretty handy. These are similar containers to what a lot of the bricks will get stored in eventually. So it's easy to either directly put these into our storage units or transfer from one container to another. And they are reasonably sized, even for the small containers. So it's easy to access pieces and, they store a good number of parts before they start to overflow. So, this is useful, but one of the problems with this is that, as we fill up our Acro Mills containers more and more, we have less and less of these particular empty containers to use for sorting. So while this is effective, it's not necessarily practical long-term unless you have a lot of empty Acro Mills containers around. So the first option that I've been experimenting with are using Lego Advent Calendar inserts. Now, I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Lego Advent calendars, and if you open them up, you will find these inserts inside them. They are made out of a cardboard styrofoam material. And one of the things that I really like about them is the size of each of the holes here. It gives a lot of great depth there for storing plates of all different sizes. So you can see here we can get long plates in there. We've got shorter plates. We've got plates that are wider. Really great option for plates and bricks, being able to store a decent number of parts in there. You could even have loose, sort of 1x1 studs or other smaller tiles in there. It's a good amount of space. Relatively easy to get your fingers in there. It's small but big enough that you can, not only put stuff in there, but get your hands in there to pick out bricks that you have put in there. So I've been quite happy with this. We've got a number of them from Advent calendars over the years, and it's a great way to reuse something from a Lego product rather than tossing it into the recycling or the garbage, which is another nice thing. One downside that I find with this particular method is that because this is more of a paper product, you can't clean it easily. And that's not a huge deal necessarily, but I find since we have a cat around, cat hair gets in here, and it's just makes it a little difficult to clean them and get that out of there. But, beyond that, it's a really durable and effective means of storing parts like this for a temporary period of time. You wouldn't want to store things in here forever because there's no way to kind of close this off. So it's hard to stack these on top of each other when they've got parts. I suppose it's doable if you don't have anything sticking out of any of the slots, but if you were stacking them or trying to move them around a lot, I could see things spilling potentially. So a good temporary means for storing bricks, but definitely not a long-term solution. So very effective for what we're talking about here. Now, the next method that I wanted to talk about was from Best Craft Organizer. This is a product that I wasn't familiar with, a few months ago. When we were at Brick World Chicago, we got a couple of sample trays from Best Craft Organizer in our goodie bags. And so I'm trying them out here and very intrigued by the possibilities of this product. You can see here, it's a clear drawer insert, and it's got small little containers here. There's a good number of slots. We've got, it's 5 by 6, so there's 30 slots in each tray. And this looks like a good method, in my opinion, for storing these small little round 1x1s, whether it be the tile version or the stud version. A good way for storing the pins and various other small Lego pieces while you're sorting them out. Now, Best Craft Organizer does sell drawers and actual cabinets that you could put these inserts into. I'm not familiar yet with a lot of those different options and how good they are, but there's definitely potential to take this method from a temporary storage solution when you're doing sorting of parts like this, and taking it to a permanent storage solution where you've got drawers of these, and it could be a great way to store small parts like this that aren't necessarily super efficient when they're stored in the Acro Mills drawers, just because the parts are small. Unless you've got a large volume of them, you've got some wasted space in here, right? And you could put inserts, I guess, into here so that you've got multiple per drawer, but hard to beat a layout like this. So quite happy with them from a perspective of storing small parts like this, even for a temporary amount of time. Couple of drawbacks. One, I find that with the clear nature of the insert, it's a bit hard to get a good sense of the depth of each of the holes. Now, when you're dealing with the Acro Mills containers, there's a good contrast with the side of the containers, and it's easy to see as you're approaching the top of that container. And the same thing applies with the Advent calendar inserts. But when I was putting parts into these little holes here, it was easy to get to the top and to start overflowing a little bit into the next container, because it wasn't really clear to me just how close I was to the top line there. Another drawback that I found is when I was trying to go and pick parts out of these little holes here, or these little cubbies, it's very easy to accidentally knock pieces out into the surrounding cubbies. Obviously, if each little drawer is not, or each little hole here is not full to the max, it's not a big issue. You've got a little bit of leeway there, but it's something that I could see becoming a bit of an issue depending on how full you had all of these slots. But, all in all, those are things that I think I could get around and get used to. So I'm really curious about, sort of future potential of this. because I currently don't have a good permanent long-term storage solution for parts like this. And as Lego puts out more art and mosaic sets, I'm getting more and more little pieces like this, and the dots line, there's just so many of these little pieces that it would be nice to have a more effective storage solution. So pretty pumped about the potential of the Best Craft Organizer inserts and where that might go. And definitely high on my list to try a few more of their products and see if this could be a good, sort of storage solution to augment what we're currently doing here in our Lego room. I don't think this would become a holistic storage solution, just because for the larger parts, I'm pretty happy with how we're storing those currently. But definitely for these smaller parts, I could see it really improving things and giving us a lot of flexibility and leeway going forward. So overall, really happy with the progress that we've been making in sorting and organizing our loose Lego bricks. And these temporary storage solutions have been a big help as we move through that process. Really happy with the Advent calendar inserts here and looking forward to collecting a few more of those as the years progress here and we get more Advent calendars. Really nice to be able to take a product like that and get extra use and give it a new life in our Lego room here. And also really happy with finding out about Best Craft Organizer, and I think these inserts are pretty interesting, and even with the couple of drawbacks, I think there's a lot of potential for both long-term temporary storage as well as possibly permanent storage, especially for small bricks like this in our collection. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have methods that you use for temporarily storing Lego bricks while you are sorting and organizing, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And thank you very much for watching. We will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.